Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So, yeah, and for anyone who doesn't know you, can you introduce yourselves and the role you play in the band?
I am Mikey. We're seconds away. I play guitar and I sing.
Yeah, and I'm Ricky. We are seconds away. Yeah, I'm Ricky. I play drums and I sing as well.
So you guys formed in 2021, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So you're a fairly new band. What made you guys decide to start a band and how did that all come to be?
Well, we've been doing music together for a while, probably over 10 years at this point. But we kind of lost touch for a bit. He was in college. I was doing my own thing, playing different bands and stuff. But I think we always knew that the vibe that we had together was just different than some of the other guys that we were with.
True.
So yeah, we just share a mutual love for music, and we always knew it was gonna happen. So yeah.
That's a nice way of saying I bugged him every day.
I bug Chris every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Someone has to do it,
I still bug him every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just every once in a while, there's those moments where you send a string of messages and like my watch keeps vibrating. I'm like, what now?
What do you want?
So what were some key music moments in your life that made you want to be musicians?
Oh man. Oh man. Well, my first music memory, I have an older brother and he was going through high school at the time when well, not high school, but he was old enough to be playing Green Day, American Idiot around the house. And I loved it. I dove into that, wanted to be that so bad, and that's kind of where it took off for me.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom was always a big, like she would always be playing music everywhere. We'd be jamming in the car, singing, going wherever we were going. Kind of where it started for me, my love for music, especially singing. No one else in my family really has a big music presence, I would say, but yeah, yeah, same Green Day, a lot of that growing up. Um, got really big into like 5 Seconds of Summer. Um, they were definitely a big influence on that. I think they were one of the first bands that kind of I delved very deep into as far because I love bands like Green Day and Blink 182 and all that growing up. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think 5 Seconds of Summer was the first time I saw it. And I was like, oh, like I can do this. Like these are just some boys that just grew up hanging out in high school and stuff, and that was very inspiring for me. So yeah.
Sweet. And you kind of asked my follow-up question to that. Like, what are some of your musical influences? Because when I listened, I noticed it sounds quite a bit of a mixture of genres to me. Like
Yeah.
you're pulling in influences from all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's something we definitely strive to achieve in our music. We have all these different influences. We listen to like pop punk. We listen to top 40 stuff. The alternative. We try and pull all these different elements from all these different bands and try and meld them into our own kind of sound that we like. So
Yeah, it's about finding a way of how can you take these very familiar things that everyone knows and does and make it unique, and how well can you hide, that top 40 sound, that stereotypical pop punk sound, and where can you take it? And I think we've been so blessed, in the music industry nowadays to where genre boxes aren't exactly like a thing anymore. You can kind
yeah.
of just explore and dive into whatever, and create new audiences and find little niches and stuff like that. So
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of bands and artists out there now that are definitely melding a lot of things together. Like I think me and Chris both said we kind of heard a little bit like R&B influence almost in your music. And
Yeah.
it's like you can have a little bit of R&B and rock and pop and punk all together. And it's just great that you can do that nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
With TikTok and everything, especially all these different
Yeah.
genres and melding of genres, just it's like a melting pot. It's so cool.
And I have a little bit of a left field question for you guys.
Okay.
So I'm going to preface this as Johnny Depp says he got his persona for Jack Sparrow from Keith Richards. Do you have an inspiration for your stage presence?
Ooh. Oh, wow.
That's a good one.
Oh, man. I think personally for me, I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but we're gonna go for it. Personally, for me, of course, I have favorite musicians and stuff like that, who aren't exactly drummers. Um, but honestly, since like our first show, and we watch it back like a football team kind of does. Like when they're watching tape, we watch it back. We're like, well, we need to go 10 times harder. So I'm honestly like my biggest motivation, my biggest inspiration,
Yeah.
just how big and how just like that larger than life mindset, how big can we look to playing to these 100, 200 cap rooms. So
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
What about you?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say mainly the same. Like, I just lost my train of thought. So we definitely watch a lot of our stage performances back. It's definitely been a journey, finding what like stage moves or stage like presence specifically like we like or what doesn't work or whatever. So yeah, definitely have a lot of influences as far as artists and stuff, but I just trying to find, our own kind of presence that necessarily isn't um pulls from a lot of different people, not necessarily just one person or, anything like that. So
Right. I mean, you guys both mentioned Green Day, so I would say like, do you pull anything from like Billy Joe? Like, are you
Yeah.
are you trying to be Billy Joe or are you just trying to be yourself? You know, it's one
Yeah.
of those things. Do you want to be known as someone else in the music scene or make your own presence known?
definitely want to make our own presence known
Yeah.
for sure. I know everyone says that, but um, Billy Joe is definitely a big influence growing up. Blank, Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, just coming up with our own kind of moves and how we present things on stage, how our whole stage, just how our whole show is like. We from the beginning we were like we want a very like cinematic focused
Mhm.
live show. We have like an intro that plays that kind of sets the stage for the whole show, and then we just want to try new and different things. Take some influences here and there, but at the end of the day, come up with our own kind of presence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
expanding on that, Billy definitely has like his signature, stance.
Mhm.
Or, like Luke Hemmings from 5 Seconds of Summer, he has like his signature, oh, I have a guitar on, but I'm gonna pull the mic off and I'm gonna, do this thing. He has, everyone has these very specific things, and we are so that band that's like, well, we see that. How can we get a signature move or a signature look right off rip? So we've like he said, like Mikey said, we've been a huge band of just making sure that everything is our own as close as we can get it, and of course pulling inspiration. But
Right.
yeah.
You guys did release a few singles in 2022, and then you released Blunt Trauma, the EP, in 2023. What was your writing process like for the singles versus the EP?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. A lot of fun. So much. The singles, we were just trying to figure it out. You know, even in those three, 333, lots of threes going on. Addicted to You and Save Me, though we were experimenting with how far can we take the pop rock side, the pop punk side, and like the more rock, side. So that it was a lot of us figuring out what is Seconds Away capable of doing, And then going into the EP, that's when we're like, okay, well, we can do this, very focused, a cinematic thing. How can we paint a picture? That's why we threw in something like the title track to just be like an intro. So it's a small album almost that really wanted to paint that picture.
Yeah, and it took us a bit to kind of find that sound we wanted with Blunt Trauma. There was a lot of experimenting going on. We took like from the release of Save Me to the release of Blunt Trauma, it was like over a year.
Yeah.
It was a lot of experimenting, trying out new sounds, finding where we really wanted Seconds Away to go. And I feel like we landed on a good end product as far as what we were feeling throughout that year, all the emotions, all the everything like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, when listening to your music, I did find myself gravitating towards the song Addicted to You as one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah. Out of the music you've released, which are your favorites?
Oh,
I know, now you have to pick.
Yeah, I know it's hard to pick. It's like there are babies. I would definitely say Blame from Blunt Trauma. I feel like that one kind of encapsulates where we've always wanted to go with our music. That's also, I feel, one that people have gravitated to the most online and everything, which is very very rewarding for sure. Yeah, what's your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, Blame's definitely up there, only because that was the one time Mikey had come to me and said, "Hey, I think maybe we should just try doing like programmed drums throughout this entire song." And I said, "You know what? If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it." And we just had so much fun writing that entire song. But my number one, ultimate, all time, always will be, is Addicted to You as well.
Yeah.
So
That one
love
was
that
so much
song.
fun to write. So
Yeah. That song actually came on our first write for Seconds Away.
yeah, our
Yeah.
first ever. It was one of our first ever songs in general. So
Well, it's a first ever. It's your first ever, and it was my favorite.
well,
How about
there
that?
you go.
I don't know, Chris, did you have any favorites?
333.
Hey,
Oh,
how
okay.
about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
That one was a really fun one to try and like reinvent live, because there was a period of time where we were just writing, and then that next year, 2023, is when we started playing shows. That one is one of my favorites to play live for sure. But it's like two different sounds live in studio. It was really fun to
And the show around it
reinvent
too.
that.
The show around it too is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's the best part, right? You write the songs and then you get to play them live because
yeah,
the show is usually the best part.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
always a fun time doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you guys could collaborate with any artist or band, who would you choose and why would you choose them?
Mhm.
I know, right? You've probably been thinking about it a little bit.
Yeah.
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 The obvious for us, I know probably both of us, we love Jaden Hostler, kind of newer TikTok artist. I don't say TikTok artist, but yeah, I love the style of music he makes, and especially nowadays, the newer stuff he's been delving into. I feel like that would fit well with our sound.
Yeah.
So
5 Seconds of Summer,
yeah,
because why not?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Why not? That's the point of this question. It's like, what would your dream be if you could collaborate with someone?
I don't know. Those it like feels like we know those guys personally. And I
Yeah.
feel it's the same way for a lot of their fans because we all grew up with them.
Mhm.
They were 16, we were, 15, 14 or 15, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it just felt like we watched them grow up and they watched us grow up. Yeah, I don't know. And our music styles too, seeing the routes that they kind of take, and you question it when you're young. Well, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? I miss the old five sauce, whatever, yada yada yada. But then you start to be an artist and you're like, oh,
You
okay,
realize,
yeah,
yeah,
that makes sense.
you don't just want to do the same thing over and over again
Yeah.
throughout time.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Speaking of musical styles, if you had to describe your musical style to a random grandmother on the street, how would you describe it?
Oh, jeez.
Pop punk boy band, something like that.
Chaos.
Chaos. Yeah.
It's chaos. Oh, she might not want to listen if it's chaos, though.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah. I always just say alternative. I
Yeah.
think alternative is such a huge landscape, a melting pot,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah, we had someone say Elvis, and they were joking because they just
Elvis.
wanted to make her listen to them.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, I mean, it depends on how old the grandma is.
Yeah.
You know, because
The Beatles.
Yeah, 'cause I don't even know if alternative was established. You know,
Yeah, I don't know.
depending on who we're talking to.
It's
but-
true, Chris. Maybe we should age this grandma, like be like an 80-year-old grandma or something.
Okay.
All
right.
Gotta start putting the age in the question.
They-
3-year-old grandma.
At that point, I just say we're a band that uses live instruments still.
Yeah.
I like that.
So,
And being a newer band, how much have you toured?
oh, none at all.
None?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Anything
played-
planned for the future?
we're starting to look at doing weekend runs. You know, our 3 or 4 dates at a time. You know, that is the one thing that is real bad about being in the music industry right now, since there's so many artists, everyone's looking to tour.
Yeah.
But with these tours, they're looking for tour experience. And it's,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
so it's
like-
so hard to get on one when
Yeah.
no one has it.
How do you get tour
unfortunately.
experience to tour if you've never toured?
Yeah.
It's like, so
It's true.
Yeah, it's just like a job. It's
Yeah.
like people want experience, but you don't have experience.
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys got to just get together with like some other bands that you're friends with and make your own tour.
Yeah,
True, yeah.
we've talked about it a little bit.
We do have a few
bit.
friends in the scene who are
Yeah.
kind of getting into touring now, so
Yeah.
could be fun.
Seeing that you guys haven't toured, but you have played shows.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite memories from some of those shows?
Oh man.
Ooh. One of my favorite memories so far, we played a show back in January at a venue called Scully's Music Diner. And that was coming off a little bit of online, like on TikTok, slight success, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but people finally started kind of noticing us in a sense. And a lot of them pulled up to that show, and hearing them like chanting our name when we were backstage and then coming out and seeing everyone there and like singing the songs and everything was definitely a first experience for us. So it's definitely like a core memory nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, and then we also played a show with our Forever Loves Outside Our Heart. We love those guys.
Those boys.
We played a show for one of their new releases back in February, where we came out on stage, and I'm the one that enters first for our intro. I looked out into the crowd, and this room was packed, shoulder to shoulder, front to back. People were screaming. I was like, we can do this. We're doing this. So that's my favorite experience right there.
Sweet. I'm gonna give a little bit of a preface to a couple of these questions that we have coming up. So this interview actually isn't scheduled to go out, just so you guys know, until the end of June. But I did want to do something real quick. Jess, I know we said it was going to be a pain in the butt to do it. But your fan who recommended you guys come on, I got her right now.
Really?
I think you guys met Z.
What's up, Z?
What's up, Z?
How are you guys?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
Oh
Did she
no.
hear you?
Uh-oh.
Oh no, she's in my headphone. She can't hear you.
Oh
They
no.
asked how you were.
I'm good. I'm happy. The podcast is getting done. It's exciting.
Yeah, I know,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Can't thank you enough, Z.
Seriously.
Now they can hear you.
Oh,
Maybe.
We can hear.
Maybe.
Hello.
I can hear them.
Yeah, now she can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
This is exciting. You guys are finally getting the podcast done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for recommending having them on.
When are you gonna come back to a show?
Little stuff like this, so there's no problem at all.
Well, we really appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ricky. So when are you coming back to a show?
Hopefully soon. I know you guys have a couple in June, so hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That doesn't sound like a good answer.
There's
All
a lot
right.
going
You
on
guys-
in life.
We can always have a Detroit show.
You know,
You
you
know,
know.
could be in the works. Could be in the books.
Could be in the works, they say.
All right, just want to give a chance for her to say hi because she's the one who really recommended and had me check you guys out.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you
Z's
so much.
Z's amazing.
We love Z.
So much love.
No problem. It was good to see you guys again.
Good to
Nice to
see
see you.
you.
Love you, Z.
Bye.
Love you guys. You guys have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Maybe.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Yeah, she really wanted me to check you guys out, and that's what led to this whole thing. So I thought it was only right that I do
Yeah.
that for her.
Included her in it.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
that wasn't too bad, Jess.
Yeah, well, originally Chris wanted to just have her join the Zoom and just be part of the whole interview, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
about
that would have
that.
been awesome. Like if
could've
we
been
have
interesting.
if we have fan recommendations for a band, like just have them sit in on it at least. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
It
that
would be.
So
I
the
told them
next
next time.
next time.
could-
The next
That's how
five
we're
the next 5 questions we actually have are from Z, actually.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So could you tell us about Medicine that is coming out on May 10th, aka 2 days away from when we're recording this, but by the time it's been released, it'll have been out for about a month and a half.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start it off. I'll start it off a little bit. We've been sitting on this song since we got back from recording Blunt Trauma last year. Holy cow.
Yeah. Last
Last
April or May.
Yeah.
So it's been about a year now.
And we didn't realize how much this song would fit after we had met all of our fans and the story that we were building with Blunt Trauma. Yeah, halfway through October, is when we, had a couple of videos do pretty well on TikTok. And Mikey and I were sitting with one another and we're like, well, we should do something bigger with Seconds Away. Like it's kind of a movement. Like it's starting to feel like we can make this something. So that's when Medicine, or the idea of Medicine, came back around. And that it felt like such a good way of continuing the Blunt Trauma story while also leading into something new, which, to come new. So
yeah, definitely a good way to end off the story of Blunt Trauma, especially since it was written around the same time as well. It kind of piggybacks off of that. So yeah, really excited to release this one.
Yeah, we figured it's like, well, we might as well want to preface that this won't be out for a while. So I mean, you're not really giving anything away when you're talking about the song,
Yeah.
But she didn't know when it was going to release, so
Yeah.
or when the interview would get set up, when she was probably thinking about that question. So her next question was, how did you guys come up with the name White Hearts for your fan base?
We didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't.
All of our fans came up with it, actually.
Oh.
So cool. We have like a little Discord server that we set up back in November, December. And it's been so cool being able to interact with them and everything in there. Yeah, they came up with it themselves. We never wanted to throw like a label on it. We didn't want to like force something on them. We were always like, you guys come up with something, and
we wanted them to be involved.
Yeah.
Like they're a part of the band.
Yeah.
And we overuse the white heart emoji
Yeah.
and we'll always continue to do so. And it's cool that they picked up on that and we're able to, you know, agree and or discuss and agree on something together. It's pretty crazy. You know, there's 100 people in that Discord and they all came up with white hearts. You know, that it's special. It's special. So
Well, now that explains the white hearts, right, Chris? In the messages back and forth. I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
exactly.
white. People are using white hearts.
We just be white hearts everywhere.
Yeah. Z uses them too. So
What was that? See? Crazy.
And are you guys excited to play Lost Boy Fest?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That one has been a long time coming as far as setting that one up and everything. So
Mhm.
we're glad to finally get the ball rolling on that.
And just play some shows in the summer, you know.
Yeah.
You're loading in and loading out gear when it's 10 degrees outside. It's like,
it's not a good time.
Instead, you'll be loading in and out gear in 90-degree weather, probably, or something.
yeah. I'd much rather take that. So
It's true. I feel like, I don't know. It would be really, if it's like -10, that would be really bad.
yeah.
Like your fingers would freeze off.
I feel like anything below freezing is just made up. It's just cold after that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just
I just flash back to that one show. It was like freezing cold rain.
oh yeah.
We were loading everything out. The venue is like, y'all got to be out of here in like 10 minutes. So we're running outside trying to get all our stuff out. The rain is pouring on us.
Yeah, I went to a show once for a friend's band that was from Milwaukee, and they had it was at a college, so it was like in a tent.
Oh,
And then it started like thunderstorming, and there's like these metal poles holding the tent up, and you're like, let me just stay a little further away from these metal poles just in case some lightning hits this tent and I don't get electrocuted.
Disaster waiting to happen.
But that was a wet and cold day too. So yeah, I guess I'd rather be hot than wet.
Yeah,
and
for
cold.
sure.
yeah, I'm really shocked that Warped Tour 05 in Buffalo, Jess, that people didn't get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
There
were tents blowing around everywhere, and
yeah, there was like a crazy thunderstorm that came out of nowhere, and we just so happened to be at the same Warped Tour and didn't even know it. And like crazy lightning storms, they shut everything down for a little while except for the amphitheater area. But yeah, like tents blew away and it was wild.
I got
I'm
stung
really
by a
shocked.
bee
Oh no.
in the rain, trying to get cover. I roamed up against someone and the bee stung me.
Oh no.
A disaster.
I never got to go to Warped Tour, unfortunately, but I always wanted to when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, it's an experience. I wish it would come back.
No, I know there's when we were young and everything, but it's
not the same.
Yeah, and it's so expensive for tickets. It's like
exactly that too. It's not the same, and it's way too expensive. Because I feel like you're never going to see every single band you want to see at when we were young either. But then again, you never saw everyone you wanted to see at Warped Tour. But you had multiple chances to go to different dates and see the bands you wanted to see.
Yeah,
and when it was only like $25 to get in, I mean.
Yep. Kevin Lyman always said he would keep tickets cheap and affordable for everyone, and he did that.
And they stopped doing it right as soon as we could drive and actually had jobs to pay for tickets and stuff like that.
Of course.
But
yeah. The days.
So her next question is, and I'm not unsure of the context here. It says, when is Ricky getting more parts?
Oh. Yeah, that was something we experimented with Blame. It kind of goes along with creating our own image. Is we wanted to pull me away from the drums more and be a vocalist. You don't see that too often with a two-piece band who is vocalist, guitarist, and vocalist drummer. They're usually sitting behind the drums and they have small parts. We were like, no, we want to be, just go for it. Mike's front of stage. Let's see how it happens. And it's worked. So in our song Blame, we wrote a verse, or the second verse for me, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and it's turned out so great at live shows, and we don't want to overuse it though. We want it to be a tasteful thing.
Yeah. It's definitely been a fun journey. Especially seeing him kind of come into his own more as a
Look at
vocalist and
that.
everything.
Look at that. Softy.
Yeah, it's been fun. So definitely more parts coming. Be on the
More
lookout.
parts coming.
Maybe.
I wonder if you could do something like I just thought of this randomly. Like, could you set up a couple different like standing kits and like travel from side of stage to side of stage? I know it'd probably be a lot for setup, but that'd be fun. I don't know.
Actually.
I
I know
mean,
nothing about it, so
I could set up like 4 drum kits.
yeah.
Well,
For this song,
Chris, you were in a
for this
band
song, I'm
back
stage
in the
right.
day.
Yeah, way back in the day.
I'm stage right. That would mess with you so bad.
Yeah.
Like, yo, for this song, I'm going to be stage right. Next song, I'll be center. Like, just
Around. You just right.
You could always get like a cardboard cutout of each other and make yourselves look like a 4-piece band out there.
yeah. I was in a band back in the day, Jess, but I was lead vocals of a hardcore band, so I didn't do any load in.
Are you kidding me?
It was very short lived. I might have played like 3 or 4 shows, and that's it. And then her last question: what else do you have coming in the future?
More songs,
More
songs, more shows. We've gotten some really cool opportunities of meeting some really awesome people. And that will definitely still be a secret by the time this comes out. So I'll leave it at that for sure.
Cool.
And our very last question, is there anything you'd like to add or share with viewers or listeners?
I guess just thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us the chance to be on here, be able to make music, have an audience that wants to listen to our music.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for supporting us.
Yeah, it's been so fun watching this all grow. And yeah, we're just thankful and grateful for everyone who's been a part of it. You know, our team, our external team, fans, everyone
we work with.
So we're a great band. You'll love us.
And there's more to come in the
That's right.
future.
That's right.
Well, that was my last question. And I don't know if Chris had anything else you wanted to throw in there.
I don't.
No? Well, we'll say our thank yous then. Thanks for coming on the pod. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Big shout out to C for giving us this opportunity.
Yes, it's always nice though when fans like you enough to like reach out to other people and be like, hey, can you get this band on?
Yeah, that was crazy.
So cool.
When she sent us what you guys had said back, and I was like, what you were doing that? Like, you did not have that.
She's like, I sent all your stuff to all these different places. We're like, oh, what?
She's great.
She's sending around. She should just be your like street team leader or something.
Yeah, at this point.
She's crazy.
Love her to death.
But yeah, if you guys are ever in or around Ohio, just keep in touch.
Well, I'm in Wisconsin.
And I'm in Syracuse.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, well, maybe when we tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Although we have been told we have to get to Cincinnati at some point.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of bands trying to get us together to meet and like go to a show. So like maybe we'll put on some kind of special Jam XP show just for the purpose of me and Jess getting together in Cincinnati.
That'd be so much fun.
Keep us in mind.